and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
So just a disastrous start to a playoff game as they fumble away the opening kickoff.
It's so simple. Ball security, so important in a game like this.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Rodgers going to come out throwing. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Well, forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Touchdown! Sammy Watkins. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 24. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
Mustang 19. Deputy Ranger. Deputy Ranger.
Hurts.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Let's go now. Hurt. Right there, Hurt.
On the counter now, it's Sanders. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Here we go, set. Hey, check out, street.
Going for it with Sanders. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field. He wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And his throw is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is Smith with a grab. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line.
They go play action with Hurts.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
You think about the strong safety position. They're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Hurts.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second and 9 from the 44.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 30. Calling an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Hurts to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try.
Jones hit and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. After the sack on 1st down, Hurts. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And this drive is almost over before it began. Thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Let's go now.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on fourth down.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Rodgers.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rodgers. And Jones has it over the middle. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones.
27 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw again on second down. Hurts.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time looked well for a solid gain.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Jones again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. First and goal, no gain. Second and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball third time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down.
19 tight.
On first down, Hurts.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Throwing is Hurts.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Let's go now.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 102 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
Again, it's Jones. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
You got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth.
Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they wind up getting 13 there on fourth down.
The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion.
Gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7.
Up the middle, Jones. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield.
And he's going to step out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
A big play there for Philly. 44 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. He'll look to throw towards the end zone for Brown.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. Hurts.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A desperation heave for the end zone. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it. And
what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious.
The Packers are moving on as we say thanks for watching.